Welcome to another exciting episode of Homely Podcast, your trusted source for insights, advice, and real stories from the real-world property investment in Spain. In today's episode, we're diving into something that many investors tend to overlook, the power of design. So we know all about the location, the square meters that are always top of the mind when buying a property, but throughout the design can make a real difference between a decent investment and a true great one. So to guide us through this very interesting topic, we are joined by Bárbara Siegfried, the creative force behind Siegfried Interiorismo. She's based in Madrid, and she's a seasoned interior designer known from her elegant, functional spaces filled with Mediterranean warmth and character. With her work that goes far beyond aesthetics, she offers full turnkey solutions for international clients, including property search, renovation, constructions, and complete interior design across Spain. So it's a really rare and valuable offer that she can offer to foreign investors looking for a trusted partner. And her portfolio ranges between the full home renovations and fully beautifully staged holiday rentals. And she collaborates closely with all real estate professionals. So today, I hope you will be really enjoying this episode. You'll find it really useful. We will be exploring all of her projects and special tips for investors. So thank you very much, Barbara, for being here. And good morning. We're really excited to have you with us. And I would say that before we jump into technical questions, I wanted to ask you, what inspires you more? A completely empty space with no rules, or small, quirky space with a lot of constraints?
Okay, thank you very much, Magda, first of all, for inviting me to this context. I'm happy to contribute content to this project. As you said, I run a studio that implements turnkey projects for the construction, renovation, and decoration of homes in all over Spain. These are turnkey projects that we handle the entire process of purchasing, renovation, decoration, and renting or selling property. So it's a really useful key for all those French investors that want to come to Spain, and you're going to help them so much. I think it's a really great idea. About your question, for me, I don't care. I mean, I don't mind to have a house that is full of furniture or an empty space. It's a matter of innovation and be open-minded and to be able to try to know what are going to be the high spots of that home. I mean, I don't care about that if the space is full of furniture or it's empty. It doesn't matter for me.
You don't mind blank canvas or the space, you know the project, the purpose, and then you can adapt.
Yeah, right.
Fantastic, great, thank you. That was just a little warm up to get the feeling of how you like to work. So I would say that now, if you're asked to explain to the clients that design isn't just a cost, but it's actually an investment, because sometimes people, come over and then they are saying like, why don't you contract somebody from the interior design? And they were like, oh, how much it's going to cost? How do you approach some of these challenges and questions, and how you help them to understand that this is actually the benefit to have somebody professional working on the design side?
Yeah. Okay. Location is the most important factor when choosing a property, along with orientation and size. This is the only thing that a designer cannot change. The rest of it, everything can be changed and modified. That's it. Once you have a property in a good location, the next step is to enhance the value, making it attractive to the market. And that's where we appear, the professionals of this sector. We are responsible for getting the most out of the home through a good layout that optimizes the spaces. I mean, the spaces have to be functional. They have to be attractive with attractive decor. Lighting is a key. And this is my job, to create handcraft projects for clients who want to enjoy or invest in a property without worrying about renovations, layout, lighting, and decor. My point.
Thank you. That's very nicely put. And when we're talking about the decor, as you mentioned, or design elements, what are the design elements that you think that attract high quality international tenants or buyers?
Okay. I will tell them that homes have to be appealing. An attractive space sells itself. I mean, while a space that is undecorated or hasn't fully realized its potential is more difficult. Not everyone has the ability to imagine a space that is full of potential. And often they don't have anyone to turn for help in this regard. Spatial layout and decoration are key to maximizing a space potential and doubling its value. It's as easy as delegating to a professional in the sector. And in my case, I adapt to all types of budgets, achieving very good results with a small investment, which will surely be compensated with a quick save of rental. Let's keep in mind that time is a key factor when listing or renting a home. A renovator and decorated home or business sells or rent as much faster than something that is unfinished and it's not decorated.
Thank you. And I'll touch upon the budget in a moment, but I'm really happy you're starting with that. But when it comes to these elements, like, will you say that bright spaces is something that international buyers are really looking for, or if there's any type of finishing? Like, I know there are different tastes to different projects, but if there's something that that puts all of them in the same, let's say, laid back in components, that there's three things that they really look into that helps to attract the attention and get the immediate conversion, what would they be?
Okay, I can offer a very accurate view of this question, as my clients often ask me to find them a plot or property to invest in. So I'm very clear about the values to look for in a home or commercial space. As I've said before, location and orientation are the most important characteristics when investing in real estate. I would highlight the three key design elements, which would be for me lighting, a correct spatial layout, and furniture appropriated to the room in terms of size, shape, and design. I mean, first, lighting, which must be functional and warm. This is basic. Lighting is responsible for creating a warm or a cool room, a cozy or inhospitable room. So we must pay utmost attention to good lighting planning, because it is not well designed, it will make the decor look dull. Second, spatial layout must optimize space and light. And third, the furniture chosen must be appropriate for the space we have. It has to be functional, attractive for the market it's targeting. For example, designing a home for a co-living is not the same than designing a home for luxury vacation rental. As examples from my professional career, decorative elements, furniture, and lighting are very, very different in office than shops, than restaurants, than in resident areas. And within resident areas, the design of a home in the city is not the same as in the countryside or on the beach. I mean, each space, depending on its intended use, will have its own customized project, always seeking to achieve the highest return for the investor.
No, that's really interesting. Makes sense. And I would just take a step back, because for us it's maybe obvious, but when you're saying that the orientation is very important, so the lighting and orientation, what's the orientation that buyers that are buying in space should be looking for?
Southwest. Southwest, where your home has to have as much natural light as possible, because if it's warm, you have air conditioning, but if you don't have light, you can do anything about it. I mean, it's going to be a sad home. It's not going to be fresh. It's not going to be a home that invites you to get in, to have family and friends. Light, Southwest. For everybody, it doesn't matter if you're up in the north, up in the down in the south, or in the coast. At the coast in the east, Southwest for me is the best one. As much natural light as possible.
What happens if it's not possible then? So that there is a perfect opportunity. What can you offer in terms of the lighting? So unfortunately, we only have the north location, but the house is beautiful. What can we do to enhance that? Or would you say strict no?
No, I mean, this is a really, really nice home. We, the interior designers, we have some tricks in order to potential the lack of light. For example, is to place mirrors in strategic areas or in strategic places where the few light that comes into the home, it can multiply it and divide it. I mean, there are some tricks in order to potential the light, but the best thing is try to have a home with as much natural light, the better.
And I think most of international investors, that's what they come to Spain for, right? For the culture,
for the
weather, for the lights. Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
yes.
Right. I mean, it has to have light. I mean, it's a must. It's double price a home with light and without light. For me, it's my
stuff. I mean, definitely, we definitely agree on that. And then talking about your tricks, and tips. So like working in this Mediterranean climate, I know you work across Spain, but for example, like we have a lot of investors coming over to us looking for the coastal area. What sort of colors, textures, or materials you think work the best in the current climate? What are your recommendations?
Okay. Well, the Mediterranean style has crossed borders and is already widely copied in different countries around the world, such as the United States. I mean, Mediterranean style is like the top. And it's a style that originates, and its name suggests, in homes near the Mediterranean Sea, where the climate is mild, allowing for plenty of outdoor living. This encourages the design of beautiful outdoor spaces with native materials such as wood, natural fibers, cotton, ceramics, clay. I mean, colors in particular, all those provided by the nature that surround us, such as the blue of the sea in all its varieties, which is my favorite color, by the way. The green of rock rose, thyme, rosemary, lavender, the colors of our earth, the sand, the full range of shades of brown, tan, beige, and of course the yellow and all its derivatives, the color of the sun. In short, blue, green, sand, and yellow. And also, I love to have a touch of maybe a red thing, like to be a nice, I don't know, little lamp or something like that. But in general terms, all those colors for me are the best for a Mediterranean style home.
No, it already became very dreamy. I think we immediately transported ourselves to the Mediterranean coast. And how about, for example, like floors? How about like any of the other materials that people should look into, like, considering humidity, considering high temperatures, considering the peculiarities? Is anything that you could suggest on the design and decorative level?
Yeah, well, it is important to be aware of the lot of sun and the high temperatures, because the house needs to be comfortable. I mean, you cannot be so hot at home. Besides air conditioning, all these types of natural fiber shadows or umbrellas, or if you are able to have natural shadow from a tree, that's the best thing you can have in your outdoor at your home. And all the materials that makes you feel comfortable, for example, cotton, linen, clay for the floors. All those materials are gonna be able to create a comfort home in a Mediterranean style, I believe.
Okay, makes total sense. Thank you for that. Now we became very dreamy. We've already thinking of this like perfect materials, colors. Now going back to the real hard questions and truths. What is the estimated budget? I know it very much depends on the project, but let's say you're getting the property that has got potential, but it definitely needs like a facelift. Let's say the walls are fine, the floors are fine, but they missing this comfy touch. What sort of budget people should be really looking into, and what are your main recommendations when planning a facelift of the property?
Hard question. Less is more. I think it's better to buy a property that it doesn't have a lot of square meters, but it's nice, it's cozy, and it can be a good investment for the investors, instead of buying a huge property that is going to cost you a lot of money to renovate. And I love tiny homes with maybe just 1-2 bedrooms. You don't need any more if you only are looking for investment. And there are a lot of couples that want to travel and to be in a small and cute space. So it's not that the size or the amount of budget you have. It's the matter of to find that cozy property in the right place with nice light and good location. Let's go and find it. I mean, it's not a matter of course, it's, if you have a big budget, it helps you to find a good property, but you can find nice things with not that amount of big budget. I think it's a time of to look for it and to make an effort to find a small and nice property. It's not a man.
Okay.
It's not.
But if we were to put some numbers on this like facelift cost, so for example, you have an investor that comes with the house with 2-bedroom house that has got a potential, but they want a facelift. So they want this ability to put like nice colors, nice furniture, making sure it really is up to the current standards. What sort of the minimum budget people should kind of calculate for when working with you, Bárbara?
Okay, but you're talking about the turnkey project. I mean, the buying the property
No,
and renovating.
Well, just like the touch-up renovation. So without the let's say like without changing the walls, changing the setup of the house. It's just by the facelift, I mean making sure there's a quick furniture, nice, cute furniture, maybe, I don't know, repainting walls, and just like little renovation that helps change the house from this like standard secondary own house into the pure, diamond that could be either rented
so no taking into consideration that you have to make any reservation about walls and anything.
No,
Furniture and decoration.
Yeah, exactly.
For two bedrooms, you told me. I mean, 2-bedroom.
I know it will vary a lot, but just maybe if you were to kind of circle like the starting price, let's say, so people are kind of aware what they should budget for.
Okay, the most part of the budget it will go to renovate kitchen and bathroom, which are essential for a cozy living or vacation. I mean, you cannot go to have a holiday in a home which is nice living room, a nice bedroom, but kitchen and bathroom are awful. I mean, that's you cannot do that. You cannot do that. So kitchen and bathroom are main key points and are the rooms of the home that are going to take the most part of the budget because are the most expensive. Turning a living room, a bedroom, nice with a nice bedroom, a nice bed, nice sheets, table. That's even, I don't know, €1,000. I mean, that's not money for a couple of lights and good design of lights, and that's it. The most important part of the budget is for kitchen and bathroom. To take into consideration to have a nice bedroom, remind €6,000 for bathroom and kitchen. It depends, of course, of the size, but probably 10,000 for kitchen and living a nice couch. I mean, also depends if you are gonna buy the couch in IKEA or you wanna this top quality design. But let me tell you that you can do really nice things for vacation home in IKEA and in a mix of IKEA with maybe another little things of the different brands. You can have a really nice home in, I don't know, maybe with kitchen and bathroom, let's say 30,000. Probably you can do it. Maybe. It also depends on many other factors, but maybe you can do it. Yeah.
Thank you. It's just to have like a circle, number, because we have like a lot of investors coming from other markets, so they're very interested in the general pricing. So starting from 30,000 for like the facelift of the 2-bedroom apartment, I think that makes sense. And this is something that the similar project we had the opportunity actually to collaborate with you on. So it makes a total sense. You were also mentioning. Sorry, go ahead.
No, let me interrupt you because there is another point that I want to tell you about this. If you are talking about improvements, I understand that the owner already owns the property, so the location, orientation, and site we mentioned earlier are really defined. Okay, in this case, expanding spaces and enhancing light will be the most also important things, as I told you before. To achieve this in a project, it is needed to redistribute the space, to expand them in order to maximize the natural light, the thing that we were talking before. For me, that's the best thing you can do in a home. And then it goes the decoration, because it doesn't matter you have a really nice furniture, a really nice kitchen, a really nice bathroom. If your spaces are not well distributed and they are without light, you have thrown your budget to the trash.
So lighting, location.
And then a good redistribution of the space. That's so important. And maybe you buy a property and you say, oh, I only have 1 bedroom and a small kitchen and a small dining room. Well, if you redistribute the space, maybe you have a big open kitchen with a nice living room, and maybe you can have a small bedroom, but you have inside your own bathroom, which is make a suite. I mean, a matter of distribution of space is so important.
And you also lead these projects, right? So you help with enhancing the visual projects, but you can also look into the layout of the property and you can actually suggest some bigger changes and actually coordinate the whole project, right? Would you be able to tell us how you work? Like how do you approach each new project? What are the stages? How does this planning of possibly decorating and redistributing of the houses can look like when working with you, Bárbara?
Okay. Throughout my professional career, I encountered this dilemma many times. Many investors that tell me, I want a beautiful and functional home on a limit budget. I mean, this is like the typical phrase. Well, in this case, my maxim is, as I told you before, less is more. In other words, it's better to have a small amount of quality, attractive furniture than a lot of outdated and uncomfortable furniture. And for vacation homes, you need to have everything you need for hassle-free living. In other words, we don't want decorative items that aren't useful, but take a space and can break, which makes like uncomfortable, which is exactly the opposite of what we seek on vacation. On vacation, we seek slow life to enjoy without complication, and this is what the home itself has to reflect. That's the point. So rather than telling investor what they don't need to do, I prefer to provide information on what they should do. I mean, the house has to be functional, easy to live in, easy to clean, and very comfortable. Pay special attention to the bathrooms, that they have to be practical and functional. To the kitchen, which should have everything you need for family and friends on vacation. And to beds, which are where we rest, and you need to have a very high quality beds. And the house has to invite, you have to feel at home or better than home. And above all, it has to make you want to come back and recommend it to other people. So you have to find its strong point and exploit it to the fullest, its views, its location, its lights. And I'm going to be helping investors all through the way of find the plot, looking for a local constructor in order to develop the project that we are going to have. And also be able to give the house with all the decoration and all the interior design done, which are turnkey projects. I can go and be able to give all my advice to investors in order to have the vacation home they need, or they want.
Mm-hmm. I was very interested and intrigued when you said about functional bathrooms and toilets. Like, that's not something I ever considered. What does it mean, a functional toilet and a bathroom? Like, what are the key aspects you're looking into?
Okay. For example, I'm right now in a developing project in real estate up in the north of Spain, in Galicia. Those old and ancient homes that they're beautiful, the stone homes, but they are maybe 500 meters of home. Maybe they have, I don't know, 10 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. That's a typical Galician home. I mean, you cannot have, 10 bathrooms is crazy, but you cannot also have 4 bedrooms and have only 1 bathroom or 2 bathrooms. Nowadays, we need at least for each 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. And the size of these bathrooms, it doesn't have to be huge as they used to be in time ago. I mean, you need a nice shower, a nice comfortable shower with nice light and a nice countertop, and that's it. I mean, you don't need huge spaces. You need nice small spaces. And that's what I always saying. Functional spaces. You don't need big spaces. You need nice and cozy small spaces. If you are able, because you have the budget and you have the square meters to have a big one, go ahead. I mean, it's perfect, but it is not essential. That's the idea that I'm going to try to give the investors. It's not the size, it's the coziness of your home.
It makes perfect sense. And that's interesting, like how people manage to live in 10 rooms and having only 2 bathrooms. I bet there was always a queue. So
no, I'm trying to read that.
Fantastic. And it sounds also like a dream Galician old house. I bet it's beautiful. We need to, and I mean, talking about your projects, I also had one of these questions I wanted to ask you, like, what are your, and we'll try to feature some of the pictures, and obviously we will send our listeners to the links of your website, but what are some of your favorite transformations that you've made with the projects of the houses and flats? And can you just help us to tell, like, what was so rewarding and what was so satisfying about these projects?
On my Instagram profile, as you said, in Interiorismo, I have featured some of my projects from start to finish, before and after, that people love to see that. And I'm fortunate to have clients who had become friends, and clients for whom I've completed several turnkey projects, both for investment properties and for their own homes or second homes. And a charming renovation that I really love is called The Little House in the Country, that I have a spotlight in my Instagram. And it's a very interesting project, as it was a half-abandoned farmhouse on the outskirts of Madrid with a bit of land. And my client, for whom I already have designed several homes, including rental apartments as investments, wanted this home for to host parties and to rent out for filming shoots, commercials. And I'm delighted to see this house in ads for McDonald's, the Zara Home, Carrefour, or Elle Magazine. I'm proud to see how my clients benefit from my projects. And this one I can share you some pictures. I can give you some pictures so you can see
Yes,
it.
please.
It was
Yes, please.
an all abandoned home with zero charms, zero coziness, and now it's like a little piece of Ibiza, 10 minutes from downtown of Madrid. So that's why many different brands like Zara, like McDonald's choose it, because they don't have to go abroad, go to the beach. They are 10 minutes from downtown. They have like a little dream space of Ibiza in Madrid with this all white home, this cozy swimming pool. It's lovely. I'm going to send you some pictures so you can see it. It's a
Yes,
lovely
yes,
project.
please.
Lovely project.
Sounds amazing.
And many other different in the Mediterranean coast. I've made some in Valencia, in Alicante, Costa Brava, which is up in the north, in Catalonia, in the really nice house beach with this amazing ocean view. That was a beautiful project also. But that kind of projects, they also burn with a huge potential because they have these amazing views and the placement is great. But I love all those projects which are not that amazing houses. They are like kind of old and the surroundings are not that nice. And they all of a sudden become a little oasis. Those are my projects. To be able to transform, I mean, to from zero to this coziness. And that's what I love to do. I love it.
And I can definitely second that. I mean, we had the pleasure of working with you on the projects, and you've been also doing some truly transformative projects from friends of ours, but also, as you said, a tiny space that was converted
I
in a
love
house,
it.
and all of a sudden it
Yeah.
expanded. So yes,
Because
definitely
it's kind of easy well, it's not easy, but it's like you have a big house, you have a great views. I mean, you have to do it really bad to do not enhance that type of home. But when you have this little tiny thing, it's like, I mean, if you don't have the vision to be able to figure out how the little gym can be, those transformations, those are the ones that I love.
Sounds about right. Like applying this creative magic that you have to transform
Yeah.
spaces and actually amplify the meters. Like all of a sudden the house seems to be like, bigger by 50 square meter, which seems like a magic, and everything thanks to the great design. I also wanted to touch upon something that you just said, and I found it interesting. When you said that some of the clients became friends, and then you did several projects from them, varying from personal and then projects for investments. How do you approach, like, what is the difference of how you approach projects that are 100% for investment purposes and 100%, dream homes? What are the main differences, and how the conversation changes with the clients that you're dealing with?
Yeah, well, it's quite different because if it's gonna be a private residence, I need to sit down many hours with the future property and to know about all their needs, their requirements, how many people of the family are, if they have kids, if they don't have kids, if they are used to invite a lot of people, in order to define and to design a home that is made for them. It's for a family of 4 people that need to work at home or not, that they have kids and they need a kid area, that they have, I don't know, they do sports and they need a gym downstairs. I mean, you have to be really aware of the way of living that your client has. If you are designing for a private property, and if you are designing for an investor property, you don't need to know about the the way of living of your client, of the investor, you need to know about who is that home focus. I mean, he's going to be in what kind of market. If it's a local market, it's a Mediterranean style market, it's going to be up in the mountains, it's for co-living, it's for resident homes. I mean, it depends. It depends on the use that home is going to have. You're going to design, bearing in mind the use of that home is quite different. It's quite different. Mm-hmm. And also, it's not the same to the furniture for a co-living apartment than maybe the furniture for a top quality residential home in the Mediterranean style. It's nothing to do. Even the kitchen, even the bathrooms are not the same, because maybe you can share more bathrooms in a co-living than in a resident. I mean, it's quite different, the project. It's nothing to do. You have to really, before you plan a project, you have to have all this information and be aware that home is going to be dedicated or is focused for that kind of client. And that's the point you are going to be starting to design and to be thinking about the spaces and everything, furniture, the budget, everything is different.
And I love how you mentioned that you're doing a really kind of a deep research and deep interview with the family, like talking about the activities, talking about the lifestyle. So it really makes sense. So you really provide them a tailor-made solution for their way of living, and then making sure that they'll be happy living in that space. And obviously for the investment option, it's more of like what's required on a general basis. Now, and what's the purpose for the house, how it's going to be rented, I guess, what sort of target audience will be passing through that house, and then adjusting that. So I think it's this conversation, as you said, initial conversation is very key.
It's and basic, it will it's going to give you the information about what you need to do. I mean, if you don't have that interview and you don't know your own clients, you are lost. I mean, you don't know what to do. I mean, I can design a home for me, but I'm not going to be living there. I mean, and I want that the clients are going to be so satisfied about everything. And I want them to write me or to call me, Bárbara, this is just perfect. We love the space. It's so functional, because I love to design functional homes. I don't want these beautiful homes, but they are not functional. In the kitchen, I mean, you're cooking and you need to walk, I don't know how many meters in order to get to the fridge and get an egg. I mean, functional for me is one of my key points. Functionality and lighting, in order to create cozy and warm homes. Those are my two best points, I think, from me as a designer.
No, I totally agree, and it makes total sense. So I just have the final two questions. So I mean, we already touched upon it on the process, but you tend to work remotely for many investors. Like, so investors are not present in Spain, but they're using your services. So could you just tell me a bit of how are you managing the process of renovation when dealing and only speaking with people over the camera, like what's the process, how difficult it is? Or is it very easy? People are used to it. Could you tell us a little bit more about the process and the execution?
Okay. Investors only have to worry about letting me know their needs and budget, and I'm taking care of the rest. I mean, once I have defined the project, I present it to them so they can make the necessary adjustments. And it would not only show the plan spatial day or lighting, but also real images with the desired final state. So this is the way they have a clear idea of what the final result of their home renovation decoration will be. And they can agree on the furniture selection from among several options that I present if they want to. And the idea is that they only have to choose from the proposals that I pre-select for them regarding materials and furniture with my advice at all times. And then it is key to have a good construction partner who will execute the design project and with whom you can have fluid communications to resolve doubts and make punctual visits to check the good progress of the project. But that's it. I mean, the point of this is to have all the preview information about the needs of the client and design the project, present it to the client, and so on, and start the project. I've done it several times. I'm accustomed to do it.
No, that's what I just mentioned, that you're used to doing that. And I think sometimes people feel that they're not in a place, being able to hand over the projects and execution to somebody and only communicate in a remote way. It causes some challenges, but I guess these days the true specialists, that's what they stand out for. They are able to manage it purely. And what would you provide the clients with? Like, would you provide regular pictures? Would you do the conferences via phone just to show them how the project is progressing? What's your regular checkups with clients?
I used to video conference and I present them all the project, and they can make me any questions. And several times they need time to process information, so we just have to talk about at the beginning a few minutes maybe, present the different planning, and then have another appointment and we discuss and we talk about it, and then they gave me feedback about what I present them, and they telling them, oh, I think this is great, but I would love to have, I don't know, a bigger space here for my kids, and I have to redone it. It's communication, communication, and communication, and that's the key point, and that's it. I mean, for us, for designers, the COVID, when we have COVID, we learned then how to work. I mean, you couldn't go out to see the houses. You couldn't have an interview face to face with your clients, and we started to learn then by COVID, and it's useful. It's useful because we learned that we can do it. There are many work that you can do with a PC or with different video calls. It's not that bad. I mean, they can figure out. You can make a video of the space in real time and with your client, and he can see, oh, I want to see the different part. I mean, nowadays we have different tools to do it.
Mm-hmm. No, and it's great that it's working, because now we're not bounded to specific geographical location. We're more open. So
Yes.
that helps a lot to invest, to execute, and then to enjoy the property and projects. Okay, Barbara, I mean, it's been great. I just wanted to kind of summarize of what we discussed. So when it comes to like pre-purchase, the key factors that investors should look into is definitely the location. It's sort of obvious, but not always. Then we have the orientation, as you mentioned, the southwest for the best lighting, the general lighting of the property itself, maximizing the light. Later on, it can be enhanced further, but like the lighting gives a huge value to any property that's being purchased.
Huge one.
Then we discussed the materials and selection, obviously, of that adaptive style, but you were also a big fan of Mediterranean style, and also for the Mediterranean climate. There are certain materials you'll be definitely recommending, specific colors to focus on the coziness. And from what I gather of what we discussed, is what you really enjoy is giving this cozy space, and you're big fan of people enjoying the space in their house. Then we discussed the whole project. So working remotely is not an issue. There is a plan. Communication is the key. So the first interview is where investors should really put a lot of effort into. So they should really be able to kind of help you to visualize the purpose of the projects, who is it for, and then really thinking, well, how the spaces would be used, and providing you as much information as possible. And then finally, what we've been discussing, like budgeting, it's also depending on the projects, but like nice facelifts of 2-bedroom apartments, and turning the property into really nice and cozy looking. We're starting about 30K onwards. And I guess, yes, the final point is looking into some inspiration, right? So you'll be sharing with us some pictures. So we'll be able also to drop the pictures. So also having a client that comes over to you with the mood board or references saying, Barbara, I really like what you done in here. I would help to also help them to understand the phases of the projects, the cost, the budget, the execution, everything. So I guess this is sort of the wrap of what we've been discussing. So I think it's amazing. And I don't know if there's anything you wanted to add, but I think that summarizes it. That summarizes pretty much everything we'll discuss, right?
It's a pretty really good summarize, and it for me will be a pleasure to help anyone who needs to invest in Spain with you, Magda. And Spain is a beautiful place. We can do a lot of things here, so you are very welcome to invest here in Spain.
Thank you once again, Bárbara, for joining us and having some really inspiring insights in the world of interior design, and not only because construction in general. So it's been really pleasure to learn about your approach and learning how do you balance this aesthetics and functionality. That's the word. We spoke about the lighting and also functionality. I would say that these are the two keywords that I'm taking away from this episode. Exactly. And I love how you helped us to incorporate the information about the local charm and, tailoring every detail to the custom and needs of your clients. And to all our listeners, if you're planning a renovation, redesign in Spain, Bárbara is a brilliant resource. So whether you're dreaming of having a calm Scandinavian inspired retreat or colorful, light-filled Mediterranean home, she's definitely a person to go to. And I would just finally wanted to say that don't forget to subscribe to our Homely podcast so you'll never miss an episode. And if you find today's discussions resonated with you, please share it with friends and family who love the good design or maybe planning a home update in Spain. So we will see you soon again with more stories, experts tips, insider guidance from the heart of Spain's property scene. Hasta la próxima, Homely. And thank you once again, Bárbara. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you to you, Magda. Thank you.